Well, he's a cutie pie. I might put him in Potomac. Okay, yes. Yeah, he can come right on to Potomac.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Richie Scott. We're back with another video. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell button because you don't want to miss out on a single bit of what we got going on here on this channel. Okay, so we just got to talk about it. Basketball Wives was a complete mess last night. I'm gonna give y'all the review. I'm gonna give y'all the news. I'm gonna give it to y'all raw and dirty. Some of y'all not gonna like it, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna call out everybody. I'm calling out everybody from the rooter to the tutor, okay? I'm sparing nobody in this review, okay? Because I want better for this show, and I want better for these women. But first, we gotta address some issues. Now, the big headline is that OG basically let the cat out of the bag that she was talking to Chad Ochocinco back in 2011 when Evelyn and Chad were dating. They were text messaging, communicating, DMing, whatever. It was inappropriate. He was dating her. He was dating Evelyn. And she was single. Okay, so we have that. Now, I'm gonna let that marinate because OG pulled out all the receipts. That's the big headline. We're gonna go ahead and rock with that. But I want you guys to ponder some things as we talk through the episode, okay? Now, OG made it known that production wanted her to talk about her connection to Chad Ochocinco since last season. As we know, last season was OG's first season on the show, okay? She indicated that she hit him up and said they wanted her to talk about him, and all she said was that he was a stand-up guy. So this has been in the works since last season, based on what production knew. Now, the only way production would have known is if OG had made mention of that herself, which would have been an interesting in for her on the show to see how that dynamic played out, okay? Now, let's go ahead and call a spade a spade. This is very similar, but in a slightly different fashion to when Evelyn confessed to Tanya that she had slept with Kenny at some point, although it was unbeknownst to her that Tanya was with her, and Evelyn later came out and said it was some other chick that was allegedly with him at the time that she found out later. Okay, cool. Let's just keep all of those facts in mind because they are a part of this story. And you cannot ignore these facts when we're looking at the greater picture of what is happening here, okay? So let's break it on down. Let's go back. Let's go back to the episode. Now, the first person I'm gonna call out right now is Evelyn. In the continuation of Evelyn getting toppled over into the bushes, that was her first mistake. Her first mistake was chasing down Cece. Why? Why would you need to chase down Cece with a palm tree? I really want to know that. You can't say you had no intention to do anything with the palm tree, but you're chasing somebody with a palm tree. Let's call a spade a spade. Evelyn, you were about to commit a violent act against Cece while she was walking away from Kristen, who she was no longer choosing to engage with. The only reason Evelyn would have wanted to confront Cece was because Cece had gotten the better of her in the last confrontation. Cece took everybody out, okay? She took them out because they did not expect her to break bad. Bottom line. Now, while Cece was doing all of this talking last night, and while I have definitely seen her take her self-defense classes or whatever classes she takes with her brother, I guess it was her brother, I do not think that Cece is about that life. She can talk all the talk that she wants to about the palm trees and where she wants to stick them or whatever else, or the bamboo sticks or whatever. But bottom line, I don't think that Cece is about that life. And it's not because I think she's a punk. It is honestly because I believe that in my spirit that Cece is, I'm going to call her a classy chick. Bottom line, I'm going to call her a classy chick. She's a businesswoman. You know, she has her own, I guess she's either an RN or something to that effect. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. If I'm wrong, don't sue me, y'all. I'm just stating the facts. And I also think that fighting would definitely be beneath her. She seems to have a little bit of maturity. And to be quite honest with you, while I hate that she always walks away from confrontation and acts like she doesn't know what happens, I just don't think that she is used to this type of behavior in real life. She's not prepared for this. And in that respect, I don't necessarily know if she's the best fit for this show. If this is the direction that the show is going, she's not a good fit for it. She would have been a good fit for it if it wasn't going to be so contentious, I think, because I like the fact that she is different. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't look like what we would have expected our basketball wives to look like. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's refreshing. She added a refreshing take to this show. Bottom line. Do I like all of her actions? No, but I gotta give you guys the real on how I feel about that. So Evelyn should not have chased her down, and then she would not have gotten knocked down into the bushes by OG, who at that point, I cannot fault her for sticking up for her friend who's about to get snuck from behind. That's what friends do. Bottom line, had Evelyn not taken that action, she wouldn't have gotten thrown into the bushes, and therefore things probably wouldn't have gotten so contentious between her and OG. Although it is my belief that at some point in time, that was gonna come out about this whole Ochocinco thing, because OG likes a trump card. OG pulled out a trump card on Kristen, and OG probably knew she had a trump card on Evelyn with this whole Chad situation. It's kind of been sitting on it for a minute. Not a bad strategic play, but we're gonna talk about how that impacted her later, okay? Shaunie doesn't want OG at the lunch. See, to me, the best course of action would have been for Shaunie to pull each group aside separately and try to mediate the conversations. Shaunie being the head honcho in charge, she should have pulled Cece and Kristen to the side a long time ago, and just simply said, let's have a ponderosa together. How can I help you guys squash this issue? Because I am the nucleus of this group. What can I do? How can I help you guys facilitate a truce? Similarly, she should have probably sat down with Jacki in Malaysia at some point and said, listen, how can we squash this? Y'all been friends for a long time. What can we do? Can we get past this? Similarly, she could have had the same conversation with Evelyn and OG. I not want to place the blame solely on Shaunie's shoulders, but I do kind of want to give her, she has so much power, I want to give her the right to mediate, right? And Evelyn and OG both need to be taken to task at this point. In particular, we need to see Shaunie have a conversation with Evelyn about all of Evelyn's bad behavior. Although up until this point, it maybe had been amusing, I don't really know, but she definitely needs to have a conversation with her. Point blank, period, okay? Love Evelyn, definitely needs to have a conversation with her because her actions definitely need to be held accountable, okay? I was gonna talk about the OG situation and the whole situation with Chad and how they wanted her to talk about this last year, but we're gonna hold off on that. So Evelyn contacts Chatty Bear, which is OG's nickname for Chad, because, you know, OG had let the cat out of the bag that while Evelyn is calling her ugly, which I hate, we gotta be able to come up with something better than ugly. as a term for when we are upset or angry with somebody, because that is not really the issue that we're having. And it shows a lack of depth and maturity on behalf of Evelyn to go that low. Because while we may not agree with one another and we may not even like one another, as people, as individuals, and especially as women, I definitely feel like that's a low place to go, and nobody ever needs to go there, because everybody's beautiful to somebody and everybody's ugly to somebody. Point blank, period. I just feel like it's low. And, you know, Evelyn lose points for that with me. So now that the cat is out of the bag about the DMs, Evelyn goes and contacts Chad, right? So which means that she doesn't have any problems contacting him. She doesn't have any problems with him whatsoever at this stage of the game, because she can simply reach out to him and say, hey, is this the case? What's up with this girl? You know, she's basically saying that she's been in contact with you. She prints out the messages, all of that, shares them with the girls. Now, these are messages from the DMs from 2014 to 2019, right? But at the end of the day, he could have deleted some of those messages from her or from himself to make himself look a little bit better in this regard. To be quite honest with you, and he's responded to all of this, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But at the end of the day, it's like, would you really believe him? I wouldn't even believe him at this point. While I do think that OG was wrong for contacting him, if she was single and he's telling her that this situation isn't serious, I guess it's hard for me to believe that she wouldn't have known that he was with Evelyn. And at some point in time, that probably should have come up a little bit sooner, okay, than your second season. But that's just me. Now, what I think about this situation is that Evelyn should just leave OG alone. It is clear that OG has the capability to be a dangerous woman. I don't mean dangerous by aggressive. I just mean dangerous in the sense that if she got a card on you, she gonna pull it. It don't matter. She gonna get bloody in the same blow, but she's gonna end you regardless. And basically, she ended Evelyn in this episode. I gotta be honest with you guys. Now, Shaunie and Jacki talk. Now, I think that Jacki was right in the situation, that Malaysia and Evelyn need to be also held accountable for their aggressive actions as well. But I also think that Jacki should have stood up to Shaunie and just said that. And then I think that Jacki should have said, no, I think you should talk to OG instead, because that message should not be left for me to carry, right? I also think that Shaunie was right when she was talking to Jacki. And I do believe that she was correct when she said that she believes that OG really would hit somebody. Oh, yeah. End of the line. OG's not a punk. She's not going to be punked down by anybody. And I definitely believe she would have put paws on somebody. Bottom line. So Shaunie was correct in that regard. But the message should have come from Shaunie if Shaunie was going to disinvite her to the final lunch. She wanted Jacki and Cece to come, but not OG. All right. Now, the ladies split up, but Evelyn wants to go now after Shaunie has tried to disinvite OG to lunch. Evelyn now wants to go to the hot springs where OG, Cece, and Jacki are to talk and confront OG about these DMs that Chad has exposed, and she's printed them out. Again, wrong road, Evelyn. Wrong road. Okay, wrong road. Just leave this woman alone. She has already took you out once. She's gonna take you out again. And that she did. Now, they put Cece in the car so she ain't gotta sit through this drama no more. Jacki's trying to mediate or something or rather, I really don't know. But Evelyn comes ready with exhibits A, B, C, D, F. I know I skipped E, but all of them, okay? She come with all these exhibits from 2014 to 2019. Now these are DMs, but what she don't have are the text messages from 2000 or the messages from 2011, okay? Because that's when all of this first started, and when OG drops that, all I could think of was, Chad, you are dirty on so many levels. But at the end of the day, we probably already knew that, okay? We already knew that. I think the only person that didn't know that at the time was Evelyn. Jennifer called it way back in the day. And that's why their friendship ended in the first place, because Jennifer was like, I peeped this game. I peeped this game. Bottom line, I do believe that Jennifer was a good friend way back in the day, because she called that stuff way back when. So just like in any other situation, not any other situation, but I hate when I see this. The two females are fighting and the dude over there getting away with all of it. Now, bottom line, here's the thing. Okay, now OG she hit her with the 1-2 punch and basically said, I've been talking to your man even when you was talking to him and when I've been talking to my man. So why would you be talking to Ochocinco, even trying, like, I get it. Dude probably coming back around saying stuff, and OG might be like, yo, nah, bro, we good, we can be friends. I don't know what those conversations are, but she did say she could leak a lot more, so I don't really even know where this is going. All I know is that I'm gonna get to what I think about that in a second. I want to talk about this whole situation where OG now takes it to a turn that I felt like was, I don't want to go here. She told Evelyn, you want to be a black woman. Okay. Now, I agree with Phoebe that this was a distraction. Because when we're having an argument, it's best to stick to the main topics or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But my question to you guys is, does Evelyn want to be a black woman? Is this a colorism issue? Is she racist? Or is she black when convenient? Now, if you gotta, again, you're gonna have to pick one. Pick one. But it can't be all of them, because she can't want to be black. Or can she? Can she want to be black and be a racist and then have this whole situation be a colorist? My mind is blown. I'm blown. My mind is blown. I understand why none of the other women wanted to comment on this whole situation. Because honestly, when you get into this whole race thing, I'm gonna let y'all know it makes me highly uncomfortable. But I sometimes I think that we're gonna continue to be uncomfortable about things unless we talk about them. And hopefully y'all can comment in a respectful way. You know what I'm saying? Because this is, again, it's all entertainment for me, but I'm just asking the questions because these are the things that are popping up, okay? Now don't come at me crazy, but I gotta call the situation. I'm trying to be objective. I'm just looking at the situation for what we see it is. Now, Evelyn has basically at this point come out and said that when people were pulling up her old tweets about her being not having black in her, figuratively, she just meant the D. That's what she corrected people just recently on Twitter. So there's that. Now, while Phoebe was correct, this was a distraction. This was all a winning tactic because to me, OG won yet another round against Evelyn. And Evelyn was basically left to lead. Here's the thing. I definitely think that OG won the whole Costa Rica battle. I think she did. But I think it might have lost her the war. And here's why I say that. Because now, the collective, they're not gonna trust her now because they're looking at her like the groupie chick. Whether they're right or they're wrong, I'm just saying they're looking at her like the groupie chick because she's been sitting on this info all of this time and she's been interacting with them. And then, so now they're gonna ice her out. They're gonna pull a brandy on her, they're gonna ice her out. Production set OG up, this is B, production set OG up for the alley-oop to take Evelyn out. They knew about this information. They had to know that this was gonna come up. They never said anything about it, but I am sure they tried to push her to use this information at some point. And sometimes when you push a person to use something, it pops, it comes out later. Now, and unfortunately, I feel like production used OG to create a very controversial season, knowing that ultimately the group will ice her out because they know how Shaunie is. And now we know Shaunie don't like OG. So once Shaunie decides to ice you out, you're pretty much done, okay? Because what's gonna happen is, on these reality shows, once nobody wants to film with you, you're out. You're out. It's no point in coming back. So I don't understand why they're gonna bring Jennifer back, but whatever. But even in icing OG out, it's going to make her the people's champ. Because to me, she reminds me of Royce in that she's a renegade and she is standing up to the mean girl clique. Because Shaunie, Evelyn, and that group can come across like mean girls. Bottom line. And once you show them that you're not gonna stand for their BS, then they're gonna pop off. They're gonna ice you out. We've seen it happen time and time again. And ultimately, I don't think that there's any way that Evelyn and OG can come back from this. If OG, for some reason, production brought her back, I see Evelyn pulling a Tammy on OG and just not filming with her. Bottom line. Now, the reunion, it seemed like it's playing out the way that we thought it would from everything that we heard. But here's what I don't like. If you're gonna say, just say this. We feel like this chick is too aggressive or violent and we scared for our lives. Just say that. Even that's a stretch. But Evelyn, you can't say you don't want to sit on stage with somebody who was taunting you with your abuser, because you also reached out to your abuser. The whole abuser thing, I'm not here to take away from the fact that there was some domestic violence that was involved, but I'm just saying that if you're gonna use that as an excuse, it's not the best excuse because you were back in contact with him, if that makes any sense. Also, Shaunie and Evelyn have the home court advantage here, so they can make up the rules in terms of the reunion. I definitely think that if I was OG, I still probably would have done the reunion regardless, if I was in another room or not, because I think it offers her an opportunity to, one, look fabulous once again, you know what I'm saying? Get on camera, look snatched, say your piece. There's nothing wrong with that. Do I think it was fair? Absolutely not. I think she should have been on that stage. I think all of them should have been on that stage. I think that you just have to have heavy security there. Love and Hip Hop can do it, so can Basketball Wives. And I think that you can't continue to have a cast that is so heavily biased and leaning one way towards Shaunie and whoever Shaunie's close to, and then anybody else that goes against her gets kind of put on the back, kind of get cut, because then it creates an unfair advantage for Shaunie and Evelyn as well, because they're best friends. So I'm just trying to make the court a little bit more even, and I would love to see a little bit more equality on this show. I think that's gonna be the only way to fix it moving forward, is to get rid of some of the mean girl tactics, like the icing out and everybody should be held accountable for any violent tendencies. And to be quite honest with you, I think that while OG hasn't touched anybody, I think the threats didn't do her any favors. But I'm not against anybody at this point. I'm trying to look at this situation objectively, and let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. If I missed anything, let me know what your thoughts are. Who you want to see come back next season? Like, what would your ultimate cast be for the next season? And what do you think can be done to fix the show? Okay, let's talk about that in the comment section below. And with that, I know this went a little bit longer than normal, but there was so much to discuss and break down. I could not let this go. So we had to cover each and every single point of this episode and look at this whole season in its entirety. And really, I want to know what you guys would do to fix it. Now, listen, hit the subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell button, and I will see you guys in the next video.